In this video, we are going to talk about an interesting word game, the Minion Game, and how we can implement it in Python. Before we dive into the game, make sure you are familiar with the prerequisites. We should have a basic understanding of Python syntax, be familiar with loops and conditional statements, understand strings and basic string operations, and have a basic knowledge of functions in Python. I believe these will help us follow along with the implementation. See description for details. The Minion Game is a word game where two players, Stuart and Kevin, compete to score points. Stuart scores points for substrings that start with consonants, while Kevin scores points for substrings that start with vowels. The player with the highest score at the end wins the game. Now let's look at an example to understand the scoring better. Let the string S be banana. Then Stuart's possible substrings are substrings that start with consonants. Our first consonant is B and the possible substrings with B are B, BA, BAN, BANA, BANAN and BANANA banana. Our next consonant is the first N and the possible substrings with that N are N, NA, NAN and NANA, nana. And the final consonant is again N and the possible substrings are N and NA, thus acquiring a total score of 12 points. Now let's calculate Kevin's score. Kevin's possible substrings are substrings that start with vowels. There is only one vowel in banana, that is A, and is present at three different positions. For first A, possible substrings are A, AN, ANA, ANAN, and ANANA, anana. For the next A, substrings are A, AN, and ANA. And for the final A, there's only one possibility, that's A itself. Thus, Kevin scores a total of 9 points. Alright, now let's get into the fun part, the Python implementation of our Minion game. For this purpose, first we will define the function Minion Game using the def keyword with one parameter string. Then we initialize a variable named vowels to store the vowels, which will help in increasing readability, maintainability, and efficiency of our code. Next step is to initialize scores for both Stuart and Kevin and set it to 0. This is important because it sets the starting point for scoring. Stuart's score. This variable will keep track of the points Stuart earns for substrings starting with consonants. Kevin's score. This variable will keep track of the points Kevin earns for substrings starting with vowels. Now we initialize another variable length to store length of the string. This is also very important because initializing a length variable to store the length of the string enhances efficiency and avoiding recalculation each time it's needed. Now we use a for loop to iterate through each character in the string and calculate the points for both players based on the starting character of substrings. We can use for I, character in enumerate string to iterate over each character in the string directly, or for I in range length, which starts a loop that runs from I equal to 0 to I equal to length minus 1. Inside the for loop, for each character, we check if it is a vowel or consonant and update the scores using conditional statements. If string at index I in vowels checks if the character at position I is a vowel. Instantly, we add the number of substrings to Kevin's score using Kevin's score plus or equal to length minus I, which adds length minus I points to Kevin's score. Length minus I represents the number of substrings starting from the character at position I. If the character is not a vowel, it must be a consonant, and Stuart must score points. For this, we use an else statement. We can build the body the same way we created for Kevin. When the else statement is true, instantly we add the number of substrings to Stuart's score using Stuart's score plus or equal to length minus I, which adds length minus I points to Stuart's score. Length minus I represents the number of substrings starting from the character at position I. After the loop completes, we have the scores ready. We then compare the scores and print the winner. For this, we use if-else statements. If Stuart's score greater than Kevin's score is true, it prints that Stuart is the winner along with his score. If not true, we go to the next line and check whether if Kevin's score greater than Stuart's score is true. If it is true, prints that Kevin is the winner along with his score. If neither of above conditions is true, we use else to print draw. Now, before we wrap up this video, let's try out the Minion game ourselves with a string of our choice. Create a variable named input string and finally call the function with that variable as the argument.